تغيب عنا تاني ما بلاش يا سايب أراضينا ما بلاش تغيب عنا تاني ما بلاش قولي مين هيملى في يوم مكانك قولي مين يعوضني حنانك قولي مين.
So this morning, went to this old stone ruin place, Iraq Al-Amir, and we took a taxi out there. It's just as far as the airport, but we got it for half the price for some reason. We realized going for the junkier taxis, way more cost effective. And there's these two guys standing at the entrance.
He pointed at a few spots.
No English, no English.
Followed us. He took us to a little window where you could see like that much.
He's
But they were nice.
just like, here. But then this other tour group came with like Jordanians and like other people from other countries. It's like a volunteer service thing. Isaac, shout out. So we were going to this cave place where they had like these cave houses. They turned the cave place into one of their stops as well, and they weren't planning on going there. They didn't even know it was there. And so they stopped with us and we just continued on with them to Amman. And then they gave us all this helpful information, and one guy gave us his number and said, if you need anything, contact him. So we rented a car. Guy checks us out the car. Well, first of all, nobody's there that can help us. So we have to wait like 10 minutes. Guy shows up, we check the car out. We're sitting there. We're checking it out in the middle of the street also. So that was fun. And then the fuel is empty. Like completely empty. The light is on. And that's how it is checked out to us. And so we have to scramble to find a gas station. We couldn't find it, and then so we just like flagged down some guy in his car, and he's like about to explain to us. He's like, oh, you know what? I'll just take you there. And he was
very nice.
Yeah, he was very nice. We got gas. Now we have an incredible sandwich. It is a piece of salami, a piece of lettuce, and 2 pieces of bread. So I'm feeling good. And I'm sick. The Dead Sea is fairly cold. We're trying to get up the courage to actually get in. There's salt just like on the beach. We're at the hot springs, and it's like a waterfall straight into the hot springs. It's hard to see. So this is what we got for 10 bucks each tonight. So far, nobody is with us. It's like the nicest hostel I've ever seen.
تعبت جرحك وجاني وفكرت بيك وضعت، ابكي جنيت والله خفت، انت رحت من غدر بي الوقت، ومن فرقتك لليوم ما مر علي نوم، رحمة بعد ما بيك عايف لكل هموم، راح اجيب مني اللحظات تجلها سنين، تبكي عليك العين والدنيا بيد لون، فرقتك لليوم ما مر علي نوم، رحمة بعد ما بيك عايف لكل هموم، راح اجيب مني اللحظات تجلها سنين، تبكي عليك العين والدنيا بيد لون، وما صدق التعب راح وانا ابكي وانت مرتاح، ملتني بعدك الجراح والله نمت قوة، الفرقة شوفتني الويل بالحيل ما خلت حيل، صاير اخاف من الليل والله نمت قوة، فرقتك اليوم وما مر علي نور، رحمة بعد ما بيك عايف بكل هموم. وعايش مثل غرقان حتى الهوى هم خان بيا، وبشرك صار خدي دمع مليان، حظي لك محتاج منك ابد ما جاز، عبالي تنجاز يا القلب بيتك جاز، فرقتك اليوم ما مر علي نور، رحمة بعد ما بيك راح اجيب مني اللحظات تجلها سنين، تبكي عليك العين وما صدق التعب راح وانا ابكي وانت مرتاح، ملتني بعدك الجراح والله نمت قوة، الفرقة شوفتني الويل بالحيل ما خلت حيل، صاير اخاف من الليل والله نمت قوة، فرقتك اليوم ما مر علي نور، رحمة بعد ما بيك عايف لكل هموم. وروحي خذته ويا قلبك علي تفكر، دمعة من تطيح باحضاني تتمناك، حارمني من النوم عايف لكل هموم، يعبر علي اليوم مثل السنة بالايام، فرقتك اليوم ما مر علي نور، رحمة بعد ما بيك راح اجيب مني اللحظات تجلها سنين، تبكي عليك العين.
When I was coming from Israel to Jordan, I took the bus up to Beit Shean, and then there was supposed to be another bus to the Jordan border, and I was there on time, and I'd asked this guy who spoke English really well, so he knew what I was talking about. And I'm like, oh, where's this bus coming? He's like, oh, right here. And and so I'm standing right there, and I see the bus across the street, but I'm like, no, he said it comes here, so it must loop back around. Did not loop back around. So I ended up having to snag a taxi, which really ended up working out because which really ended up working out because I met this guy from Spain who I split the taxi with the border, so it was actually pretty cheap. And then when I got to the border, we met this guy from Japan, and And so we went across the border with him, so it made it a little bit cheaper. And then when we got to the other side of the border, we met a guy from China. And all four of us, a motley crew, split a taxi to Amman, and which was awesome because it was way cheaper. I mean, it was like $12 instead of like whatever 45 or something. And so that was huge. And yeah, and then we split up, went our separate ways. So when I finally got to Amman, I went to the Airbnb, and everything up until this point really had gone better than perfect. And I get to the door to open the door, and he was like, yeah, it'll be unlocked when you get there, so no worries. I open the door, it's locked. But I hear somebody on this other side. I'm like, oh, okay. So the guy answers the door, and I step in, and I'm like, oh, hello, how are you? Like, you know, I think he's the host. And I'm like, yeah, it's just me for now, but she'll be coming later. And the guy's like looking at me with this very confused look. And it turns out he was a renter. And so I left, and I got Wi-Fi, and I got on WhatsApp. Hello. I left, got on WhatsApp to talk to the guy for the Airbnb, and he was like, oh, I couldn't get a hold of you because I didn't have Wi-Fi. And he was like, but I upgraded you to a different place. And he's like, go to reception. And yeah, and I told him I was at the Galleria Mall, and he was like, okay, go to reception and I'll get you a card. So I go to reception, and I asked, I was like, nobody there, and turns out he meant reception of the place that his Airbnb was at, so that was confusing. But he sent a car, picked me up for free, and took me to the new place, which is actually pretty nice. And it was funny because it was just a
Hello.
very discouraging. I thought we got like ripped off or something.